Today, we're going to dig into the story of what looks like a picture-perfect English market town. On the surface, it's all honey-colored stone and quiet charm. But just beneath those cobblestones, well, there's a secret so immense, it actually rewrites the history of ancient Britain. Welcome to Cirencester, or as you really ought to say it, Cirencester.
So, when you think of Cirencester, this is probably what you're picturing, right? It's famous for being the capital of the Cotswolds, a place full of these idyllic streets, little independent shops, and a pace of life that feels like it hasn't changed in centuries. It's about as quintessential an English town as you can get.
But what if I told you that this quiet, sleepy town was once a bustling metropolis, a genuine powerhouse that rivaled London itself in its size and its influence? See, that's the mystery we're unpacking today. We're going on a bit of a conceptual dig, peeling back the layers of Cirencester to reveal this epic city that's buried right under the high street.
To really get your head around Cirencester, you have to think in layers. I mean, literally. You've got the Roman fort at the very bottom, then this incredibly powerful medieval abbey that rises from its ruins. Then the town becomes a battleground in the English Civil War. And finally, it kind of settles into the market town we see today. Each era is built directly on top of the last one. Okay, so let's start peeling back that first layer. Just beneath the modern surface, we find our first big story. For 400 years, Cirencester wasn't a town of quaint shops at all. It was the personal domain of a single, immensely powerful institution that controlled absolutely everything.
And you can see the wealth of that era in the very stone of the town. I mean, look at this. This is the parish church of St. John the Baptist, and it's so grand they call it the Cathedral of the Cotswolds. And do you know what paid for it? The incredible profits from the medieval wool trade, a business that put Cirencester on the map all across Europe.
The Augustinian Abbey, founded way back in 1117, was the real power here. They weren't just monks. They owned the land, they controlled the markets, and their abbots were serious political players who even sat in parliament. They basically turned the whole town into the engine of this hugely profitable wool trade. But here's the thing. This was not a happy relationship. The townspeople felt completely crushed by the abbey's power. There's even this one incredible story that an abbot paid someone to get a hold of a royal charter, a document that would have given the town some freedom, just so he could burn it and keep his absolute control.
Well, the abbey's reign came to a very sudden, very dramatic end. During his dissolution of the monasteries, King Henry VIII ordered it to be completely demolished. An institution that had dominated life for 4 centuries was almost entirely wiped from the map, leaving this huge power vacuum and a landmark that pretty much vanished.
But remember, that's just the first layer. If we dig deeper, right underneath the rubble of that medieval abbey, that's where we find the town's greatest secret, a past so grand it is almost impossible to imagine when you're walking those quiet streets today.
And here it is. This is the big one. In Roman times, Cirencester was called Corinium Daubonorum. And it was, believe it or not, the second largest, second most important city in all of Roman Britain. The only city bigger was Londinium. We're talking a massive, thriving urban center with a population of up to 15,000 people. And if you want a sense of the scale, just look at this number. 8,000. Corinium had a colossal Roman amphitheater, one of the largest ever built in Britain, that could hold 8,000 spectators. That's more than half the entire city's population packed in to watch gladiatorial contests and public events. Just imagine that. And the city's wealth, wow, it wasn't just in its public buildings. Corinium was filled with these luxurious townhouses for the elite, decorated with absolutely stunning works of art, like this intricate mosaic floor. And this isn't some recreation, this is the real deal. You can go see it in the town's museum today. So here's the main takeaway. Corium wasn't just a large town, it was a true Roman metropolis. It had a massive public forum, huge defensive walls, its own mint, producing coins. I mean, it had all the infrastructure of a capital city, right at the heart of the Roman Empire in Britain. Now, a history this deep and this dramatic, well, it doesn't just rest quietly, does it? It seeps into the soil, it leaves behind strange artifacts, unsolved mysteries, and ghost stories that people are still telling today.
The town's folklore is absolutely filled with these unsettling tales. You hear stories of a so-called vampire buried on the abbey grounds, a faceless monk that haunts a local inn, and even this powerful curse that's attached to the land itself.
And get this isn't just a spooky story, it's a real archaeological find. Back in 1963, a skeleton from the medieval period was discovered with a brick literally jammed into its mouth.
This is a known, though very rare, burial practice that was used on people they believed were vampires, to stop them from rising from the grave to prey on the living.
And then you've got the curse. The story goes that after Henry VIII demolished the abbey, a whole series of powerful men who acquired the land met untimely, often violent deaths. The land just kept returning to the crown again and again, giving it this jinxed reputation, as if the ground itself was rejecting its new owners.
So what does all of this incredible history, this Roman metropolis, the powerful abbey, the strange legends, what does it all mean for the charming little market town we see today? How does all this hidden depth actually shape its identity?
Well, the answer is that the past isn't really past here at all. It's literally just beneath the surface. I mean, as recently as 2011, workers who were digging a new car park just stumbled upon the remains of a luxurious Roman townhouse. Its mosaic floor is still intact after nearly 2,000 years. Modern life is built directly on top of all that Roman grandeur.
And that, right there, is the key to understanding Cirencester. Its unique character comes from this incredible contrast. You've got the calm, unassuming surface of a modern Cotswold town, and then this epic, world-changing history buried just inches beneath your feet.
So it kind of leaves you with this final thought. If a place this quiet can hide a history this grand, well, what secrets might be buried under your own feet? What incredible stories are just waiting to be rediscovered in the places you walk every single day?